Bones go bump in darkest night, bringing stories to the light. Guests arrive with chilling claim, whispering the ghostly name. Hear the tales for all to see. Spirited chats, eternally.
Hello, everybody. How you doing tonight? I hope you're having a lovely weekend. Hello, Lee Foot. Hello, Steve. I hope everybody's doing well. I am doing okay. I am a little blah, but I'm sure we'll work through it. Tonight we have some wonderful people in the background, just waiting for us to bring them aboard, which we'll do in a second. Um, well, I guess I don't have much more to say than that. So I hope they're ready to come aboard here in a second. We'll bring their tonight's guest is the Paranormal Gurlzs. We have Misty
Hello.
as well. Hello, Misty. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing good, thank you.
Good, good. Glad to hear that. As well as Brenda. Hello. How
Hello.
you doing?
I'm good.
I, good. Awesome. So I am having a brain fart. I had all kinds of things in my head ready to go and just left. So how about we start with simple stuff? Um, when I ask questions, it'll be pretty much whoever cares to answer is fine. There's no unless I ask specifically for one of you guys. Um, but why don't you go ahead and give us a little rundown of who you are?
Well, we are an all girl or an all female paranormal team. We started in 2024. When did we start, Miss T? Was it
I think it was August.
no, it was before that. April or
I,
May.
yeah, actually, you're right. It was around then.
Yeah. April or May when we started. So we're new into um, the paranormal field as a team, but I've been in the paranormal field for quite a while. Um, and then the other people on the team, they've had their own experiences and stuff as well. Um, so yeah, we
Awesome.
like to take off and go explore.
So so are you the founder, Brenda?
I am.
Awesome. Awesome. No,
Misty and I had went to see Dustin Perry at Valair, which is a event place here. Um, and I think that was in April. I don't even know. It was last year. But we went and saw him, and I said, I would really like to start an all girl team. My brother and I have done investigations, and he's an investigator. And I just got really tired of him not inviting me to go. I'm like, I'm always willing to go, but like it was like pulling teeth to let me go. So I was like, I'm just going to start my own team and we're just going to go do it and done that. And so now he's become a special investigator with us.
oh, cool.
And
So he's close to you guys.
yeah, he only lives like 30 minutes away. Um, so he goes with us as a team. We can learn from him because he's been doing it for 13 years. But yet he can also see how we work as a team, and everything like that. Um, so it kind of works good both ways. Our first investigation, we actually had a chair fall off of other chairs. It was like you have two chairs and then one, but it was straddling it and it was in a good spot where it wasn't going to fall off. And something knocked it off. And so when I was telling him about that, he goes, well, what did you guys do? I'm sure you guys ran. And we were like, no, we were trying to figure out how it fell. Like he goes, nobody ran. And I'm like, no, nobody ran. Like we were trying to debunk on what happened. And so at that point,
No,
he's kind of like, I think my sister's got a good team. And so now that he's been with us a couple of times, he's figured out that we are pretty solid. So
so
that's
you've
what we
been investigating for over 10 years, 13 years as well, or
um on and off, not a lot. Like I don't have as many investigations under my belt as he does. But I've done several residential investigations and a few locations. So all of my experiences together, I might have 2 years in the business. So not near as much as him, but I'm getting there.
definitely, definitely. I mean, 2 years is quite a bit, you know. Um, there's a lot of people that hasn't had a day's worth of experience. So, Misty, yourself, how long have you been investigating?
Actually, this was the first time I ever investigated was with Brenda. So
Nice,
just a year now. Now I've had
nice.
experiences growing up, of course, but this is my first time actually using devices and stuff to actually see what's going on and debunking it. So
And documenting.
yes, and documenting. Which we still
Now,
have tons of evidence to go through for our last one.
that seems to be the bane of every team because we get hours upon hours of stuff that we got to go through, and yeah, it's nice to go through the stuff, but it's also kind of like watching paint dry because we're there,
Exactly.
we lived it,
Exactly.
we
Yes.
know. But when you get that little bit of evidence, it's like, oh,
Mhm.
Oh yeah, it gets your adrenaline pumping for sure. When you find something that you cannot debunk in any way, it's
hmm,
like a dream come true.
definitely. Yeah, that's good. I never looked at it that way, but you're right. Um, definitely right. Now, the one thing that I'm a little jealous sometimes of people that are just starting into the field because a lot of times you guys have that higher energy that can do let's go attitude where people that's been in it for several years or decades, we kind of get a little more laid back, relaxed. So, um, so being newer is definitely a positive because you guys are willing to go through the right steps and do everything correctly, and you haven't learned all the bad habits that other people have gotten through the years.
I actually do say that about my brother. I'm like, watch my brother, learn from my
Yes.
brother, but don't always do what my brother does.
So you know what I'm speaking about.
Yeah.
So
Definitely a wealth of information there though, so it does help.
Mhm.
yeah, there's definitely benefits to being in it, but we just like I said, we kind of get relaxed and kind of skimp through some stuff that we probably should be doing, you know. But what can we do, right?
Right.
Stephanie, my significant other, said that's why it's good to mix some new people in sometimes, new blood, because it refreshes the groups and kind of gets them re-energized.
I also think on that point, it's good to mix like that too, because everybody can still learn from somebody else. Because
Mm-hmm.
like your investigation techniques might not be like ours. And there might be something that we do that you like and be like, oh, well, I could do that. Or, like vice versa, you being in the field a lot longer than us. It's like, what can we learn from him to be able to, you know, figure things out or, you know, that kind of thing.
Yeah, You don't want to learn from me.
Maybe.
Well, and honestly,
Learn what?
it's good to have people share their energies in a space like that because you're going to have different interactions with different people. So maybe you find people that have something interact with them more in another area. I mean, the more people, the more different people you put at that situation, you might get a different experience as well. So that's another plus side to it as well.
Definitely. And not well, you guys are all female group, so that's bringing out a lot of the feminine energy that might get spirits that don't agree, don't like the male presence as much. So you might
Mhm.
get more activity in the place just for that reason. Yeah, our one member Angel and Steph get that quite a bit, where all the guys will be in the room and we're not getting nothing, so we'll step out and they'll start getting activity, and vice versa.
Mhm.
Let's see. Look at the fedora.
Look at the
The
classy fedora.
classy fedora. Mm. Yeah, one of my newer ones. Uh, got the vibe. Heck yeah. Um, I have feline energy, and then I think he's saying feminine energy. That's
Uh,
uh, and then uh, sometimes the chat gets a little weird. Jason is another member of the group. We call him JWoww. So we have me, Scott, Mr. Fedora. We have Lee Foot, we call him. Wait, we all ended up with names, with nicknames. I don't even know. Jason, JWoww. His wife, Angel. All the guys have nicknames. Did you notice that?
Yep. It's a guy thing.
I guess so. And plus, note, we did not give ourselves these nicknames. So, um, let's get back into the conversation. Sorry about that. So, hello, being an all female group, and I'm not going to harp on this all night. At least I don't think I uh, do you think that you guys are going to run into any kind of roadblocks because of that from the public?
I I don't know so much from the public because I'm actually coming across more and more female groups or teams.
Okay.
So I don't know so much about that. I do know, just speaking with people in general, they think we're all crazy, but I don't know. I think some people might have the thing of, oh, well, you guys are all women. Like, what happens if you run across something that's way out of your scope? Like, you run into a demonic, whatever, like, what are you going to do? And my response to that would be, what did you do? Like,
Right.
the first time you encountered it, whether you were male or female, what did you do? Like, it's going to be the same. I mean, we're all going to pretty much feel the same. We're
Yeah.
either going to freak out and run, or we're going to freak out and go figure it out. You know what I mean? So it just depends on the knowledge and the education and learning, like when you do run into these certain things, what kind of scenario, just like run over scenarios. Not that you remember that in the heat of the moment, not always, but if you can gain the knowledge of, like when you hear something or if you think you see something, don't run, don't necessarily run at it, but don't run away from it. Like stop and try to figure it out. Like
Yeah.
you're really seeing things or not seeing things or whatever the case is.
Running in any situation is not good. Um,
Correct.
that does not mean that you shouldn't take and remove yourself if you're feeling off, sick, whatever the case may be. But just don't go running like that guy on Ghost Hunters.
Ghost
Uh,
Adventures, you mean?
No,
Oh,
what was that?
okay.
Brian was his name.
Oh,
Like the
Brian,
first
yeah, Brian
two.
Harno. Yeah, I know who you're talking about. Yeah, yeah,
Jason say, "Whatever you do, don't run." Next thing you know, he's running through the jail. Run!
yeah. Yeah, running is not good because as we were talking about that earlier, the location itself could be very dangerous. And if you're running, you could injure yourself. So,
or another
Right.
person.
yeah, running is not a good thing.
Well, and it's dark in those places. There's a lot of places that have holes in the floor, that have unlevel flooring. I mean, all you have to do is just run into a weak spot and it gives away. You
Definitely.
got to be careful. A lot of those places should be condemned, honestly, and I hate to say that, but I mean, the flooring and the ceiling, the way they are at this point, some of those places I'm surprised haven't fallen in, but it has so much
And
history.
I
You just
wonder
have to
how
be
many.
careful.
You're definitely. I wonder how many investigators have actually fallen through a floor and such. And they just don't report. Well, I'm sure they go to hospital and such, but I mean, there's no accounting of saying, well, 15 paranormal investigators got hurt last year. So I'm
That's why
kind of
we all
curious.
sign waivers.
Yeah. So you guys do have waivers.
There are some locations where you do have to sign waivers.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, you're talking about the location themselves.
yeah.
We have, we as in Warren area site paranormal, we have waivers that we sign, just kind of give to the homeowners and such, so it makes them feel a little more comfortable. So I don't think many teams do that for some reason. Maybe we're opening ourselves up for some kind of lawsuit or something. I don't know. We're not attorneys, but so on that kind of stuff, though, do you guys? Well, I'm trying. Words are hard, but what's the worst place you've been to as far as being safety issues? Is there any place that comes to mind right away? And you don't have to give like exact addresses. Is it like a residential place or is it like a business place or
For me, it was Old Mercy Hospital. Um, you really actually like you had to use flashlights to walk on the floor because the floors were really wet in a lot of
They were
areas.
sagging.
Yeah, so you had to like walk easy and figure out where you had to walk.
wow?
So that potentially, I mean, we didn't have any issues, but as far as structure wise, that one was the worst out of all of them that we've been to so far.
Yeah, it was definitely questionable, but I mean, half the building is still very functional and still running to this day. So, I mean, if they were willing to, they could actually fix that place up, but it's going to cost them a couple million to do that. So, I don't
Wow.
know if they
Is this
ever will.
is this a place where you pay to investigate type situation?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are they taking some of that money to repair the building, or are they just kind of keeping it for their own?
Well, when we
I
were
think she
there,
runs the building with it.
yeah, when
Hmm.
we were there, she said that what they were trying to do is they're trying to repair the old hospital side and turn them into apartments. So
Whoa.
eventually, at some point, it's not even going to be a location you can go investigate anymore.
I mean,
So,
that's it. That's a twist I wasn't thinking.
mhm.
Um, Would you want to move? Well, I mean, of course, since we're investigators, we probably would. But the average person, seeing that has been a place to investigate for the last 5, 10, 15 years, whatever the case may be, all of a sudden becomes apartments. You don't think that could be an issue?
Uh, well,
I
it had a morgue in it, so I don't know how people would feel about that.
it
Mm,
would definitely, I don't know, like if you wanted to put it up as haunted apartments, then you would probably be okay. But if you have somebody that moves in there that absolutely has no idea, I'm not saying that place was overly populated, but there was some stuff that happened in there. And like the lady that owns it, when she gives you a tour, that tour is you walk down the hall, that's where surgery was, that's where this was, that's where that was. You come back, you go to the next floor, dun, dun, dun. Like she doesn't like to spend any time over there at all
she was wanting to get
because
out.
she's had interactions over there and she don't want them.
Wow.
So yeah, she was very short. I've seen her do investigation or tours for other groups. Same thing. This is where they did this. This is where they did this. This is where they did this. Next floor. This is what happened. This is what happened. And it was, yeah. I think the
So,
whole tour was like 10 minutes.
wow. So Denny's asking, can a spirit cling to you on an investigation?
Yes.
On
I
that
guess
Correct.
he's
investigation, yeah.
painting wall now.
Yes.
He's a general laborer contractor type person that is in my area. So, but so you say they can.
Yes. Yep.
Uh,
If you
we
don't,
ha-
go ahead.
I was just gonna say we've had interactions where it was something that we've had our EMS out and it was, you know, messing with that, and you could feel something around you the whole time. And it felt like that, like it followed us through the building. So, I mean, yeah, I do believe that stuff can cling to you during your investigation. And Brenda, you were going to say something?
Oh, and also cling to you to come home with you. You know, like if you don't take care, like when we go to an investigation, we say a protection prayer before we go in. We do a protection prayer when we leave. We also do smudging spray. Like we protect ourselves going in and coming out. We don't want to bring anything home with us at all because
Right.
nobody wants that in their house. Um, Plus my other half would shoot me if I brought anything home. So that was something that we chose to do. The last place that we investigated, something had attached itself to me and affected me to the point where I actually had to leave the location.
Oh, no.
I was very irritated. I was very high anxiety levels. I even broke down crying, and I've never cried on an investigate. Like I've never felt that way at any location that we have done. And it
Wow.
would, and we dug out the smudging spray and spritzed, and then I was better, and I was able to finish out the night. But that wasn't even 2 hours into the investigation. I'm like, great, I'm gonna have to sit at the cameras all night because I can't go back in there now. Um, but I was able to get it off of me and everything like that. So yeah, they can cling to you, they can attach to you for sure.
Well, I'm glad you're able to deal with it on the spot. That's for
Yeah,
sure. And
I wasn't dealing well.
I've seen that firsthand. Not with you, of course, but
Right.
on investigations. But the cure. You gave some pretty good examples. If you're religious, uh, we like in our group we say our prayers. We don't generally do that on camera because not everybody's religious.
Right. We
Um,
don't either.
so, so we do that part. We also, I don't know if it works or not, but it seems to so far, is we state out loud, "You're not welcome to follow us." We take authority of telling people that you're not allowed to go follow us home. You're not invited. There's no
Yep.
invitation. We say that out loud. Now, for us, when we tell people that if your home is if something follows you home or something, we also go into saying like the burning the incense, smudging and such, and just once again taking control of your house. Go into every room of your house and say, "You're not welcome here. You have to leave now." Then you mentally envision a bright white light to fill the whole room out. Fill the whole room. Imagine like a blinding light in your room. You just do that in every room and you say that out loud. Eventually, having that control and saying you're not invited will eventually alleviate a good part of that. Now, if you start talking about demonic on the other way, then I suggest you get a hold of somebody in your clergy or something to help you in that way.
Or
Sage. Yep. White sage. Is that what you just said, Misty?
Uh, Actually, I didn't say anything. I
No,
was
I thought
thinking
somebody.
it, but I didn't say it.
No, that's weird.
Yeah, I'm not psychic. Psycho, but not psychic.
even though white sage is the good sage to do, we don't do a lot of sage just because you don't know, like, even if you get it in a store, if you get it in like I don't know,
The
like
bundles.
a holistic store or whatever, you actually don't know what those people are into or what they might have done to anything. You know what I mean? So
Right.
it's not that I think it's bad because I don't. But if I was going to get it, I would rather go get it from like a shaman or somebody like that where I know their intentions are pure.
Well, if somebody was very uh, wanting to around our area up here in the Warren, PA area, there's a lot of sage that grow in our forest around here. So if you
That's
are a
cool.
forager, you could go out and do
There
that
you
kind of
go. You
stuff.
go out get your own.
But
Yeah, I'm gonna grow it this year, I think, actually.
Oh yeah, you
Yeah.
got it, Tom. There you go. See, yep,
there's
yep.
ways around it, right?
Yep.
And that's another thing that I think could be brought up as well as we go into these places and we don't know the history of the families and such we go into
Hmm.
because we don't know what brought the activity on, and we hope that they're truthful with us, but
Correct.
we have no way to force them to be truthful with us.
Right. Right. Yep. We are actually working on following up on one residential case that we did. Uh, we went in, we did the investigation, we did a cleansing, but now we got to go back and do her because it didn't stop. It actually is getting worse.
No.
So that's great. My brother was there. My brother led it. It wasn't us. So,
Yeah.
um, but yeah, so we were trying to just see if it was like in the environment or not in the environment. And it's not just in the environment. The girl used to actually go out and do paranormal investigations.
Okay.
And so we don't know 100%, but thoughts and everything, or she brought something home with her. Not intentionally, of course, but then again, we don't know. Because when we were investigating, she's like, we didn't even do this much when we did residential cases. And I'm like, we're not doing that much tonight. Like, we're just trying to figure it out. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know the group she was with. I don't know anything about them, but I don't know if they were like us and they just tried to jump into it. I don't know. I'm not saying anything. I don't know.
Right, right.
I just know something
And
didn't go right.
that's the good thing and bad thing about shows like Ghost Adventures, Ghost Hunters, and such. They did open up the doors for a lot of people, but they open up the door for a lot of people, and they kind of don't take the time to research it and do it properly. If such thing can be done. I was gonna ask this sooner or later, but Lee is asking, "Where are you located?"
We're actually in Iowa.
I'm
Around
sorry,
we're in Iowa
Iowa.
in the middle Midwest. Yeah. So we're in the Des Moines area. So Des Moines is the capital of Iowa, and we're located around there.
I broke down in Des Moines area.
Did you?
Bro- yes, the clutch on my semi went out. Fourth of
Mm.
July weekend, no less.
Oh, that's fun.
Uh, Denny is, I believe, saying hi to you, Misty.
Oh, hello. Sorry, didn't see that.
I popped it up real quick, and then um,
Hi,
now
Denny.
I can't. But yeah, so that was a fun weekend.
That
Um,
was.
well, I don't think I've asked this in the last couple of shows, but I'm sure people are thinking about it. I'm thinking about it anyways. What's your guys' views on uh, Ouija boards or witches boards or such things?
Sorry.
Oh, she froze. Okay. I thought that was a moment, like a
No,
really long thought there.
no, sorry about that. My thumb took it all away.
There you go.
Okay. So for me, I don't allow Ouija boards. But one, I don't know anything about them. I don't want to know anything about them. I don't want to know how to use them. Nothing.
Okay.
um, I actually owned one with a friend of mine when I was a teenager, and we messed with it for a while, but it was something that it was kind of shut down pretty quickly.
Hmm.
I haven't really messed with them since, but I'm not opposed to them as long as they're done with respect and done correctly.
Makes sense. I know most of my group don't care for them. I could care either way. We don't use them. That's for
Right.
sure.
I wouldn't use them
But
in an investigation ever because that just seems like that's opening doors you don't want to open.
right, right. Um, my thought is the energy you're putting into them is what you're getting back. So if you're young
Yeah.
kids playing around, ha ha, you're not probably gonna get anything bad with them. If you're on an investigation, trying to find stuff like that, I think that's you're walking into trouble there.
Yeah.
Mhm.
At
Now I
least
have
that's
to
my.
have a double camera open.
Yeah, I mean, I could take you out of the one that you're not. You would you like me to remove that?
Yeah, because I'm very
Okay.
upcoming.
If you get kicked out, please come back. Okay.
Will do.
All right. There. Okay. It
Thank
worked.
you. Oh, that's much
You're
better.
welcome. Are you guys in the same house? If you don't mind me asking.
We are not.
Oh,
She's at
okay.
her house and I'm at mine.
Well, when she said that, you kind of looked over. I thought maybe you looked at her.
No, we don't. That's the thing. Like, if we get asked to do a podcast, we do it from our own home. We don't. We don't get together.
Half the time we can't because everybody's working.
Yeah, or they're busy doing other things, and yeah. So it's just sitting in the comfort of our own homes.
Nothing wrong with that. Uh, Denny, I think you're thinking of the pentagram. Totally different situation there.
Wouldn't do that either.
uh, yeah, you can draw stuff like in the ground, like dirt, like in the dirt, or you could spray paint it, or however that goes. But yeah, that's starting to take more than your simple
That's
witch
becoming
board or
ritualistic at that point.
right. Thank you. That's the words I'm looking for. uh, yeah, that is the kind of stuff that if I'm on a case and I see, I would probably be getting a hold of our spiritual advisor to come in right away and start working on stuff.
Yeah, because I mean, not all pentagrams are bad, but
Mm-mm.
a lot of people automatically assume they're used for bad things, but some people use them for other things because you got people who practice in good arts as well as bad arts. So truly, it's best to leave it alone and let somebody who actually knows what's going on to deal with it.
Because if I remember correctly, the pentagram is very similar to the Star of David, and so it could be definitely misinterpreted in a lot of ways. But um,
Well, and it's the
it's
direction of the pentagram as well.
and that's
It's
where it's best to be on safety as opposed to just assume.
right. Always consider something like that as an unknown threat because you don't know if the tension is good or bad, so it's better to be left alone. Sometimes you might find, especially if you have sites like that, you might find jars filled with stuff like nails and stuff like that, and that. Oh, you okay?
Yep.
You might see stuff like that, and my number one thing to say is leave it alone. Don't touch it. You don't know what the intent is for it. It could be a good thing, it could be a bad thing, but it's not meant for you. So anytime you see stuff like that, just remember it's not meant for you because it could be a good thing, it could be a bad thing, but it's definitely not intended for you.
Correct.
Oh, there's your
Yeah,
kitty.
yeah. This is Smokey. She doesn't like to be held too much.
Oh,
she she'll sit behind me if I'm on a chair like yours, and she'll lay back there. She'll bop our head with her head and such. But other
Uh,
than that,
that one.
they're rescue cats, so they don't um they're good cats. So
They haven't built up the trust yet.
well, they yeah. The one that I had there is very trusting, and she's all about being around people. She just doesn't like the whole being held. The other one, the calico, she's now she trusts me and stuff, but any of the grandkids or anybody that's over that she's gone. She doesn't want to be bothered. But that's another thing. Not so far as cats. I don't see a lot of people bringing cats on investigations, but dogs. Um, our one member Angel has a dog she trains to do paranormal investigations.
That's cool.
Have you guys ever seen such a thing?
Only on
TV shows, really.
yeah.
Yeah.
But that would be awesome to be able to train it. I could never train my chihuahuas to do it. But but yeah, to see a dog train for paranormal would be an awesome thing to see.
Well, I nothing against Chihuahuas, but I don't think they would make good companions for such thing. I could see them chasing away
No.
demons.
Yeah,
Right?
they'd be barking the entire time.
I said they might bark them to death.
Or
It's like two triangles, one pointing up, one pointing down, pentagrams, and inverted star. There you go.
the difference between the Star of David and the pentagram. 100 keepers. Oh, cats. Um, so if you don't mind talking about it, and once again, I'm not asking for specific locations, but the very first case you guys went out on a team, how was that?
Very loaded. We
Yeah.
drove 6 hours because the location we were supposed to go to, we got bumped out of um, by a paranormal team, which I am not going to say their names, but I don't like them at all. Um, they're very popular. They're not like amateurs like us. They're like very well known. Uh, so I wanted to book a place, and I'm like, "Oh, I saw this on a show. Let me get a hold of the lady." And she goes, "Yeah, sure, come on down." So we drove
Mhm.
6 hours. Um, was kind of disappointed that we didn't get to investigate much of the house due to renovations, which there's been a lot of renovations in the last year almost, which is really good. So now they're able to do some more of the house on their tours, which is cool. Um, but we went into the basement or the cellar, which back in the day was an old wine cellar. And that's where the chair got knocked off. Um, we Misty saw a black shadow running up on us there. Um, we have she has a grid pin, and if you like put a hair tie over it, it'll keep it on. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So
I,
okay, so
I
like
don't
on
know.
a grid pin, you have to hold the button down in order for it to project the lights.
Okay.
But if you wrap a hair tie around it, it puts enough pressure against it, it'll hold it down.
Yeah. Okay.
So we did
Laser
that.
pen.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry. Laser pen, grid
No,
pen.
you're
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So the chair that fell, we had it in there with the button up so the button couldn't touch the chair at all.
Mhm.
So like like the debunking thing. And
Right.
all of a sudden the whole pin or the whole laser went out and
Oh.
then it came back on. And I was like, "Can you do that again?" And it shut off and then it came back on again. And we were like, "That's so cool." Because yes, if that tie moves just a little bit, it'll do that, but it won't
Mhm.
go on and off. It'll just go off and stay off. You physically have to turn it back on. So we did actually get it to turn it on and off a couple of times. So that was pretty cool. That was our first investigation. We were all stoked. We were
It's
all
like
stoked.
the flashlight method there.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Awesome.
which I still need
And
to get flashlights to do.
Oh yeah.
I half believe it and I half don't. Um, I figure it if that's the only thing that happens on an investigation, I'm not quite ready to believe that's paranormal. Now, if it's several things plus that, well, then I'm a little more leaning that it could be. But that's just my opinion.
Mhm.
Um, so, Misty, is there anything in that first case that stuck out to you shy of the grid pen?
um actually I had missing time. Uh good 15 minutes, which I literally don't remember. I remember telling the girls I'm going to do a EVP in another room, literally probably what, 10 steps away, Brenda?
Mhm.
Next thing I know, I'm outside and I'm just kind of sitting against the wall, and Brenda comes out and goes, I've been looking all over for you. And I'm like, I just stepped out here like 2 minutes ago. And she goes, no, you've been gone for 15 minutes.
Wow.
Still have no idea what was going on in that time at all. All I know is that I completely blinked out during that time. I also, at that time, also had a little bit of an attachment um, that kind of, I believe, might have made me forget what was going on at that point. What was Jen Jen? You remember her?
Mhm. Yeah, her name
That
was
was,
Jenny.
she was the daughter of the person that owned the house, and apparently, I believe that maybe it kind of attached to me a little bit, and that's where I went and lost about 15 minutes of time, though.
Wow.
Fascinating thing on that. She mentioned Jen. So the lady that owns it lives across the street. She had taken her husband home, come back. This happened during the time that she was gone. And when
Okay.
she came back, we went upstairs. Then we got the tour or the history lesson of the place. And she actually said the daughter Jenny went by Jen. We
Hmm.
were like,
Wow.
yeah,
And
it was crazy.
that's definitely a surreal feeling. Missing time. Um, you
It was
definitely.
unusual.
For real.
Excuse me. Yeah. I've experienced that once while I've been investigating, so I know that feeling. Um, Fortunately, it was three of us in my car when it happened, so it wasn't just me. Um,
Smelling room.
but I don't know. But so what would you have done different now on your first investigation if you were to go back?
Well, we are going to go back because it was a
Well,
cool place and they got more stuff done. Um, for me, I think is just trying to see if we can establish more contact with what's there. Um,
And
I
plus,
will say this: the investigation that we went to our very first time was done by Ghost Adventures,
mm,
and the lady that owns it said when he was there, he opened up things that he should not have opened up, and now they have issues.
oh, really?
Yeah. So
Oh,
she wouldn't
go
tell
ahead.
us any more than that. Like that was it. She's like, just take the spray downstairs and just spray it because we were talking about some things that were really weird. Um,
Yeah.
like when you're doing a baseline sweep and it goes from like point two to like 40 or 50 within like 2 feet. Like it's just weird.
Right.
And then you move over another 2 feet and it's back down to point. It's just like little
or
weird things. And she's like, oh yeah. She's like, so this happened. She's like, just take the spray down there and spray and you'll be fine. And we're like, that's kind of weird. But so like just to go back and like just dig in a little deeper, um, and to see what other things we can experience, maybe chat with.
Right. Now, do you guys have more equipment, or do you guys don't rely heavily on equipment, or how do
We
you guys investigate like that?
We have 4 cameras now. I have 2. Misty has 1. Kathy has 1. Misty and I both have EVP recorders. We have 3 spirit boxes, I think. We do like an Estes method. Uh, we have K2 meters. We have a dowsing rods. We have the laser grid pins.
So you guys are definitely stocked.
Yeah. Well, for my birthday in
Oh,
March
no.
last year, I'm like, he's like, "What do you want for your birthday?" And I'm like, this, and this. And he goes, "Why?" And I said, "Because I'm going ghost hunting, so I want this, and this." So I ended up getting a lot of it for my birthday. But yeah.
Oh,
My, you hear that? For our birthdays, we like ghost hunting equipment.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, you didn't buy me any, did you?
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
Misty.
they heard that.
Yeah, Misty. What else did you? What you gonna say?
oh, I was gonna say I know that Kathy also has a tripwire
Oh
that
yeah,
she
she's got a
got
tripwire.
made.
Mm-hmm.
A
Yep.
Yep.
tripwire.
Yep, a
Yeah.
tripwire.
Is
So
that like one of the lights that light up?
yeah, you lay it on the floor, and then like
Mm.
when something interferes with it, it lights up.
Oh,
And
nice.
it does an alarm too, I think.
Yep, it's got an alarm too.
And by the way, my birthday is March 25th. It's a good
Okay,
month to have a birthday.
okay, okay. I'll send you an
Um,
Amazon gift card.
there you go.
There you go.
Actually, we'll have to meet in Ohio or something, do a group investigation around March.
Yeah, like Madison Seminary.
That could work. Or
Mm-hmm.
there's also Hellstown
I don't know
in
that one, but
Ohio.
okay. What's the other one? The infirmary. There's
Uh,
Madison Infirmary, and then there's another
Mansfield.
one. I don't
But
know.
there's
It's like
there's a couple places.
80,000 square feet. It's some huge building out there, but it's out there by Columbus.
Mm.
My brother's been there, and
I've never been to.
it's been on several
Maine.
ghost shows too. But what is the name of that place? I don't remember.
Oh, it'll pop up later tonight when.
Probably when I'm going to
Yeah,
bed.
as
So
soon as you get off, you'll be like, "Oh, I remember now."
Yeah.
so where's one place that you will not investigate?
One place that I will not investigate.
Is there any
Misty,
location?
you can answer that, Misty, if you have one. Mhm.
did, did I throw you guys for a loop?
I mean, well, honestly, I'd probably investigate pretty much anywhere as long as it doesn't fall in on me.
Same.
Or a cave. I don't like tight spaces.
Yeah, same. Like I don't. There's not really any place that I wouldn't go. Well,
Hmm.
I take that back. There's one, and it's can no longer be investigated anyway. But it actually was a place that my brother did in Missouri, on several location or several investigations. There was a bunch of um, demonic activity. There was possessions that happened that he's got documentation of and stuff while they were there. So
Wow.
that's one place that I don't even want to like. I don't even care just because of all of the experiences that would happen that was there from the number of people that was there. I have no desire, none.
I fully understand.
Send me
Ah, Steph says she's ready to run in. I
Yeah,
my personal is I'm a little hesitant about psychiatric place, um, mental hospitals and such, because of the simple fact that people are having chemical imbalances and such when they're alive. Is it going to be corrected when they pass on, or are they still going to have that same frame of mind in the afterlife?
I can understand that. And jails would be along that line too.
I'm
But
a
I would still
little
go.
I'm a little less worried about jails because they still have that mentality of being in a cell and following orders and such.
The
And she
last
laughed at me. At least that's my thought. And yes, Leaffoot demons suck.
the last investigation that we was on, um, in the room where I got affected so bad, they the story is the girl that was in there, the nurse three I think it was three nurses went in and sat with her for an hour. And during that hour, this girl possessed or threw out 13 different entities or 13 different
Personalities.
personalities, being male and female.
Hmm. Kind of
So,
like
I mean,
that.
I understand why it would be that way. You know what I mean? It's
Mhm.
actually documented 13 different ones, and they're like, which is weird because a majority maybe two or three. But that was the room that I actually got affected in really bad.
Wow.
So I get it.
Yeah. That's yeah. Um Outside of that, is that the worst experience you guys had? Or any other place that kind of scared you a little bit or
It,
No. For
it's
me,
not
that
that
last place was. Sorry, the last place was probably for me the worst one, but not in a bad way. It was different for sure. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, Brenda.
no, you're good. The last place we investigated was actually probably the most active place we've done yet. And like I said, it started when we were setting up. It was crazy. Like it just was nonstop interaction, like all night. Even when we were doing like an EVP session and stuff like that, we didn't hear like we were getting very much, but going back and listening to the evidence, because we did the thing, like, hey, knock once for yes, twice for no. And then, like, when we were asking questions, we really didn't hear it, but on the recordings, you hear knocks back. So they technically were answering us. We just didn't hear it in real time or with our own ears. Um, so it's just really crazy. And we did actually get a few growls, which I've never experienced those before. So that was a first. Um, it was a very crazy place to go, and I would highly recommend anybody to go there because I don't think that they would not have an experience. I think they would experience
Yes.
at least one thing anywhere in that place.
Oh,
wow.
and
At
definitely
least
bring
one.
a coloring book to that place as well because you will get a lot of interactions with a certain person in a room if you color with them.
Mhm. Your
And
K2,
they're asking
yeah, I will answer that in a second. Um,
okay.
if you put a K2 meter on a coloring book, it'll peg to red and it'll stay red the entire time it's on that book.
Wow.
Take it off
That's
the book.
unusual for Kate.
I have a video of two K2 meters, both of them pegged to red, both of them on a coloring book. You pick them up and they go back to green with nothing. It's insane. But we investigated. It's Malvern Manor, and it's in the southwest corner of Iowa. It's like 30 miles from Council Bluffs. And it was a hotel, and then it was turned into a nursing home, and then it was shut down for not being
Up to code.
compliant. Like the hallways weren't wide enough to actually be a nursing home. So then it was like kind of like a group home for mentally disabled people or incapacitated. I don't know what you want to say. Like the person that had the multiple personalities, that
Right.
type of thing. So yeah,
There is a place in New York. I don't know if you travel such distance. Um, Janice introduced me to the owner. I don't see why bringing up her name more than the comment. It's called the Sweets Home. Like candy sweets,
yeah.
and it sounds very similar. Not, it wasn't a nursing home or such homes like that, but it has a long history of different things happening, and you can find it on Facebook, you can find it on YouTube and such. There's all kinds of activity there. I will say that it's not for the hobbyists that's just looking for weekend fun or whatever, because some of the entities there can get a little aggressive and such. But I could either send you the information, or if you want to find it online, I'd recommend looking into it.
We'll definitely do that. Um,
Mr. Fedora.
we're not
Uh,
we're not really opposed to traveling places. It's just having the time and the resources to do it. Because I'm like 5-year bucket list. I am going to Alcatraz. I am going in the next 5 years. That is on my bucket list. I will go. So
that's that's up in New York.
no, Alcatraz is California.
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
on
yeah,
a
you're right.
it's on
By
an
the
What am
Golden
I
island.
Gate
thinking? New York?
Bridge.
Yeah,
Rikers Island.
is that possibly?
Yeah, that's Rikers
So,
as New York.
so don't ask me for directions.
Yeah, like there's a bunch of places that I really, really want to go. Like I want to go over on the East Coast. I want to go out to like I want to go everywhere. Like there pretty much is not a location that I don't want to go to. And prisons being the big ones on those. Like I
That's
really want to go
the
to a lot of the prisons. Um,
that's where having a big TV show supporting you would be nice.
Right.
exactly. There's not a show out there about that yet. There's not an all female ghost show. Just
Well, there
saying.
you go.
I'm just
Reach
saying.
out to I think it's Pilgrim Films that does taps.
Oh, okay.
Pilgrim Films is who produced and created the Ghost Hunter show. So
Yeah, because I'm like, there's not an all female ghost show. There's one that's got guys and girls, but there's not an all female one. My brother would then
well,
call me a sellout, but I'd be like, I get to go do what I want to do. I get to live my
right, call me.
dream.
You get to go wherever you want. You get people finding the places for you, and you get paid to do it. I mean,
Exactly. What do you think,
where could
Misty?
it
We
go?
could do this.
Hell yeah. It's everybody's dream, actually.
Mhm.
Well,
I think it would be
not
awesome.
everybody.
No,
No,
just don't.
for people to pick them for you, and you can just go whenever you want.
That would be nice.
Yeah.
And you don't have to pay
What?
for it because you're getting paid to
Yes.
go do it.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and that's it. A lot of the like Ghost Ventures and such that the production company and the cable networks pay for the places you go to.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So it just doesn't come out of your pocket.
Right.
Um, so where's the future shy of TV show? Do you see the group going?
Oh, thank
You
you,
are
Denny.
awesome.
I just want to be able to go to more locations. I want to um I think a lot of times I'm seeing it more, but I think a lot of times people just want to go in for that good scare. They want to be, scared or, whatever. I want to go in, we go in trying to figure out who's there, trying to see if we can get any of their story. Maybe it's something that needs to be said that didn't get said or they didn't get remembered the right way. Like it's connecting on a personal level without connecting on a personal level. Like
Mhm.
remembering that they were people at one point too. So just being able to go in and do more investigations, and being able to show people that there is more to paranormal investigating than just getting scared, seeing a shadow, thinking everything is demonic, things like that. Like there's more to being a pestanormal, a paranormal investigator.
New
Um,
slang word.
yeah, and be able to show that not everybody is out just for that cheap thrill. Like we want to do it for a reason. I find it completely mind blowing that we can exist on the same plane as spiritual beings walking side by side and not necessarily ever knowing about it. And at any
Right.
given time, those paths can cross. And I just want to be there to experience when they cross, to be able to say, this is what we found at this location during our investigation.
Well, that all makes sense. Now they say that some scientists are now saying that there's no spirits or afterlife, but yet they're uh, what's the words I'm looking for? Uh, Parallel dimensions that we're hearing. They're like, you know, that we just kind of no longer exist, and our spirits and such are other people in a close parallel universe that we're picking up and hearing the knocks and the voices and such. What do you guys think of that? If I explained it well enough.
Scientists are going to believe whatever they want to believe because there's a scientific method to doing everything. That's just like not everything that you hear or see or whatever is haunted or paranormal or whatever. That's why at that point we do use scientific things of debunking, to try to get them to do it again or whatever. So we all have that little bit of scientific point to it. But to say we don't exist on the same planes, we don't have parallel planes where the crossovers happen, I think is very shallow. They're not open to experience any of that. They're like, no, if we can't scientifically prove it, then it doesn't matter. Do you know what I mean? So at the end of the day, it's what everybody believes. Not everybody believes that we do coexist with a parallel dimension or another dimension that can walk parallel to us, or that there are such thing as spirits or demons or whatever. But I think when you experience things throughout your life that you can't fully explain, then it helps open up your mind to think what could be the reason causing it. And most of the time it's paranormal because it's that parallel dimensional universe or whatever the case is. So I had a really good friend. He's like, I don't believe any of that. I can explain everything. I can explain every creek. I can explain every noise. Like, I have an explanation for everything. And I'm like, that's fine. You don't have to believe what I believe. That's fine. But I tell you what, he passed away, I don't know, 8 years now, 9 years, maybe 10 years ago. And he actually comes and visits me and does things that are paranormal because he knows that I believe. And I truly believe that. So
Have
just
you
because
ever
they don't believe it or didn't believe it in life, don't mean they don't end up believing it later.
Have you resisted the urge to say it?
Have I resisted the urge to say it? To say what?
Do you know? I told you so.
Um, I I don't think I actually have, because I think more it's along the uh, lines of the comforting thing that he knew that he could actually come visit and I would
Right.
be okay with it. I don't know. Maybe I have told him I told you so. I don't know. Like I said, he's been gone a long time. Um, but I just find it funny that he didn't believe it in life, but he figured out a way to actually come back and still be in my life all these years later.
Amazing.
So yeah.
That's for sure. That's amazing. Um, hmm.
Misty, you got anything on any of that?
Um,
What
I
the goal
well, I
is
look
for
at
the future?
well, I well, I was thinking about his scientist thing. Actually, I was thinking about how a long time ago we all thought the planet was flat, then we thought it was round, then we didn't believe in dinosaurs were around that long ago. We didn't believe that we evolved at all. Then we discovered religion and we discovered science and everything in between. So who knows what's real? Honestly, there might be a ton of alternate worlds. That might be what crossing over is. We might just be energy that's connected to everything, and that's why we see stuff that repeats itself. Because I
Hmm.
think we've all had that happen. See things that just, it's not a sentient ghost, but you see it happen all the time.
Hmm.
It's kind of like a glitch in the matrix, as some people would say, but
Mhm.
that's what I'm saying. If it is an alternate world, who knows? That might be our crossover. And that's just the way the scientists are explaining it now.
Makes sense. I I believe myself that um, both exist, the afterlife and such, as well as parallel universes. I do believe that we do tap into both of it. Sometimes it is when we say, "Hello, anybody there?" It is somebody in the other the parallel universe hearing us and like, "Oh, hey, hello," like freaking them out as much as we get freaked out, right?
Mhm.
But that's just my little view.
I
Is
actually
the moon?
posted that one time. I said, "Why is it when we go into some place, we're all like, hello, like expecting somebody to
Yeah,
say something back? Like, why do we do that as investigators? Like, you know what I
The
mean?
way
Like,
we've been trained.
I guess,
yeah.
but
Manners.
I guess. Um,
My thing is not to try to talk to them like kids.
no, we talk to them like you normally would talk to somebody.
Well, for the longest time, I was like, "Hello, how you doing?" Just acting like they're 5-year-olds.
Hmm.
So, so I have to remind myself to talk to them like we are. And
Hmm. Yep.
yeah, this happened to me yesterday, the day before. Um, yeah, I can't remember which day, a day or two ago. I thought I heard some voices on my bus of a guy talking. Uh, I didn't catch the words that were being said, but um, so yeah, I've caught where I work has activity. Um, Very rare I hear anything on the bus. Most time when I do hear anything, it's whistling.
Lulu.
And Lee rides my bus, and he happened to be on. I picked him up and said, "Hey," but Thursday he says. But generally I hear whistling and such. But yeah, the building itself is has activity. Um, we've not really investigated it. Maybe I'll ask my boss one day if I can. But um, we hold meetings there, and we've had um, our K2 meter go off once or twice, and I got a very clear recording of a whistle, uh, a tune being whistled, not just a quick whistle, just an actual like somebody was whistling as they were walking. You hear it softly come into the voice recording, get louder as they got close to the voice recorder, then
That's
faded out
neat.
like they walked by.
That's cool. Um, I would think that pretty much any bus station would be haunted just because of all the people that have passed through. You don't know what they were carrying with them, what they were going through emotionally, mentally, anything like that. So I would think with a lot of people passing in and out through a bus station, even if it was just a city bus, the the interaction that people have would leave that impression that they talk about.
It'd be like a
So
high energy area.
yeah, well, you know, the the impressions that it can leave, all of that emotion and everything that it puts into the environment or whatever that they talk about. You know what I mean? Um,
It's
you
not
know.
so much they're there haunting the place, but their energy's still there. A little piece of them.
Mhm. Yep.
I got a little distracted. My cat's jumping up on my nightstand, and
Yeah.
she don't normally get up there.
um,
Um,
and you were talking about EVPs. If you go out to our page in the feature tab, is um we went to Edinburgh Manor, which is up in the northeast corner of Iowa. It's a very popular, but there's a piece of recording there, and it is actually an EVP. And it's towards the end of the video because I'm not good at editing videos, but you hear my brother say, because we went with him that time, so we was his special investigators, but he said let's end the EVP. So we're like all like shutting off our devices, and it comes through the mic on my camera, and it's very very loud, which means it was right on top of the camera, which means it was right next to me. So when I was watching, I freaked out reviewing the video evidence. I was like recording it, I was sending it. I'm like, what is this saying? What is it saying? And it was so weird because I'm like, he goes, you actually caught a class A EVP. And I'm like, and it's an entire sentence. It's not just a word. It's an entire
oh,
sentence.
nice.
But I did put it out there. And I don't remember the wording exactly, but it's something about like it's better in the afterlife.
My life is better in the afterlife.
Something along those
Yeah.
lines. But it's out there on the page. You can go listen. It's just
And that's on your Facebook page.
yeah, the Paranormal Gurlzs Facebook page under the featured the things that are pinned at the top.
Okay.
And
Um,
Yep.
now, before we get too much further, go ahead and promote your social media sites and
Um,
email or how to get a hold of you.
all right. So Facebook, we are the Paranormal Gurlzs. Um, I do have a YouTube channel, which is the Paranormal Gurlzs. I don't have anything uploaded yet because I just said I'm not tech savvy. I'm trying to work on some of that stuff, but I'm not there yet. But
They're making it easier.
we will have our own YouTube channel, hopefully. Um, Paranormal Gurlz 2024 at Gmail is our email address. You can reach out to us on our page, email, messenger, you know. I also have that in the pinned at the top too. The different ways that you can find us or get a hold of us.
On your Facebook page.
Yep. The Paranormal Gurlz Facebook page.
Awesome. Good
Yep.
deal. Yeah, they're making it easier for uploading on YouTube and such. I also recommend Rumble.
Rumble. Okay.
Yes.
Is that
Um,
like a video editor?
no, that's
Or
a
what?
platform.
Oh,
like
it's a
YouTube,
platform. Okay.
similar to YouTube. The difference is you have no requirements to earn money, so you could start being monetized right away.
Cool.
So, and maybe I could loan you my tech guy, Leefoot here.
Um, Lee, I am just now putting together one video that I still have to like figure out how to edit. It's going to be a hot minute before the YouTube channel does.
The um,
Like, I don't even,
I,
I don't know how to go on to like even do a video. Like, I'm very green when it comes to YouTube. TikTok, I know,
we go
but
back and forth with that.
he's not the tech guy. No, I didn't say you were. I'm just saying it's going
No,
to be a
I
hot
said
minute. Oh, oh, because you said you got a tech guy. Yeah. Yeah.
I
Because
said I'll loan.
yeah, I will, I don't know, hopefully in the next 6 months, but I'm getting married in two. So I don't know. It might be a year before I get into anything, but I'm just trying to get the stuff downloaded and put it into video form. And then, like go back and put edits in where I need to put edits in. But
Mhm.
I really just started dabbling in that like 2 days ago. And all
That
I did
is the
was,
worst part about doing this kind of stuff is the whole editing and the reviewing and the people do not understand the time that's involved in all that until you start doing it yourself.
I tell you
Because,
what.
well,
Hmm.
you think of a simple, say, 4 hour investigation. Most people think, okay, 4 hours, you got a couple cameras, you go through it, you're done, no big deal. Well, when you look at it as you got 4 voice recorders, you got a 8 camera security system, you have handheld camcorders, you have so you time everything you have times the hours, and before you
Hmm.
know it, you got like 70 hours of footage to go through, and
Right.
audio and such, pictures. It's okay.
Yeah. So it definitely is very, very long and tedious. We kept having interference at Edinburgh. So we have multiple videos where there's no audio, but you still have to watch the videos because there might be something in there. And then you're like, oi, there's nothing in
I
there. Yeah,
I
it's
feel bad for Lee. We were in a investigation once where we had cameras all set up. He was watching it and watching it on a computer monitor, a smaller one, and it looked like he got a really good shadow across their laser grid system. And so, he's telling us, okay, you're really gonna have to watch this when we get to this point. And so, going through evidence review on a 55-inch or something, a bigger TV, anyways, than a smaller computer monitor. Cat got up, was curious about the laser grid, and put its head up in just enough to show a little bit of a shadow.
oh,
Speaking of debunking,
right? For real.
That's awesome,
well,
though.
you're hearing voices in the background. I'm assuming you're probably hearing Stephanie there, Lee, but she asked me a question just a minute ago.
Mhm.
Hi, Lee.
Steph says hi, Lee. So speaking of fun things like that, what's the one thing, Misty, Brenda, that you've been on an investigation and you found humorous? Like, anything that stands out? And yeah, he was very disappointed with that.
Jesus.
He was so excited for that shadow because ended up being a
um,
cat. Lee says hi.
mannequins.
Oh, God.
Mannequins are a big thing. They scare the crap. Like we know they're there. They scare the crap out of us, but then we have to laugh about it. Edinburgh has a
They have a couple different things that will scare you if you're not up for it.
there was
Yeah.
yeah there's a mannequin that is called Oh Jesus because it was left behind
It,
by a team.
it's a
They left it
Halloween
there.
one.
They left it there to scare the
Future
lady.
teams.
No,
Uh,
to
Y-
scare the lady. And so when she walked in and saw it, she said, "Oh Jesus," and that's just his name. But yeah, it's a Halloween type mannequin. It's really scary. But I would say the biggest thing on that would be mannequins or running into stuff.
Or
Oh,
no, you
yeah.
gotta be dolls too.
damn the dolls. Yeah. Yeah, the
That
dolls.
sounds like a story.
No, I'm the only one that's not bothered by dolls on the whole team. They
Uh,
Dolls
don't
are
bother me at all.
dolls are just creepy. Just
mm,
creepy. And when you learn the history about why hollow body dolls were made, it kind of changes your mind on dolls and you just don't like them anymore.
mm.
So,
I don't know if I know about that or not. I'd have to
really?
go to my old memory and
So,
see if I learned about that.
from what I understand and what I've researched, you know, back in the day, all dolls were like stuffed or whatever. Well, then
Mhm.
they came out with the hollow body dolls because loved ones thought when their deceased went, if they had a doll, the doll could inhabit that spirit of that deceased person could inhabit the doll.
Mhm.
And I'm
Mm.
like, no, I have no, right? I don't care. I don't need to have dolls in my house. I will not buy dolls for my grandchildren. Like, I don't have anything to do with dolls. I just don't. I'm
My
just,
grandkids love to hide dolls to try to scare me.
Well, to back up, she likes to bloody them.
Oh well, yeah.
Sorry.
Our grandkids are kind of got sense of humor that we have, and so they at a very young age, 3, 4 years old, even they were bloodying up the dolls and making them very Halloween, and all that. And then they'll hide them throughout the house to try and scare me, personally, me. Like they find it funny to put it where they think I would get the most reaction out of.
because
Which
you're not
one
going to
worked for you,
film. No.
huh?
And yeah, my aunt actually gave me a porcelain doll head. It's wrapped up and put away. I don't even know where it's at this point because
It's not behind you there.
no, it's not because I wrapped it up and put it somewhere and then I forgot where I put it. Yes, ironically, Raggedy Ann isn't Annabelle is. And the spirit isn't inside Annabelle, it's attached to Annabelle, which goes back to the thing of if things can cling to you, yes, it can. But yeah, no, I don't know. I just get creeped out by dolls. The faces are creepy, you know, knowing that they were made for that reason. Like, I don't know why anybody would think that. Um, I don't know why I think that that would be true, but I am not spending my days trying to find out.
What
I'm
about
just
the ones that are used as old ashes? Have you ever seen any of those?
no.
Yeah. Some of them can be pretty creepy.
Yeah, no. Or the ones where you find the heads have been cut open and put a light inside to make them into a lamp.
So, how much money would it take to send you to the island of dolls? I see Misty could set that up for you, right?
No,
If
Did
it
we
didn't
find
have
the one
snakes.
that would
I don't
probably be
think they
another.
do.
That would probably be another location I would never go to. Is
I was
Island of
about to say,
Dogs.
do
Yeah.
we find another location for you?
Yeah, yeah, because I I don't know. It's just creepy to have a shed that has nothing but dolls hanging on it and hanging out in the tree. Like I'm good.
I
You
often
know?
wonder what would happen if they took Robert the doll, Annabelle. There's a third one that I always forget, and
She's a
just put
blonde
them in
hair.
a room.
She's a blonde haired doll.
Yeah,
Zach
Kathy?
Bagans has it, I think.
No, he doesn't have any of the dolls.
Oh,
Or
he doesn't? I thought
maybe
he
he's
did.
got the blonde haired one. Is the name Kathy?
Yeah,
awesome.
he has that one. Or he did.
Yeah, he does have that one. But he doesn't have
Imagine putting
Robert.
them.
Robert's in Florida.
Imagine putting all of them together and say at Bobby Mackey's for a night.
Do you
Mm.
know, I would actually almost watch footage of that all night long just to just to see what interaction would happen or what would happen in the room with that much energy. Do you know
That's
what I
what I'm
mean?
saying.
I wouldn't want to be in the room, but I would sit and watch the cameras.
I bet you that'd be a gold mine.
Oh yeah.
But yes, there's a place in that's by us, about 25 minutes away or so, called Pit Hole. And me and Lee put went there one night with some of our equipment and such. And it was daytime when we got there. And in the pavilion area with the picnic tables and such, there was some dolls that people left, and just kind of creepy dolls. They were weird. Um, we took some pictures of them and such. Of course, they're somewhere on our pages. But Pit Hole's a very interesting place as well. Um,
And you know Bobby Mackey's is no longer.
yeah.
So
Did
I
they
think
tear it down or just close it down?
no, they tore it down. It's gone. I think if I was going to pick a location for those three dolls to be inside of, I don't think it would have been Bobby Mackey's. I think I would probably either choose Joliet Prison or Trans Allegheny.
That would be good. I was thinking Penhurst, but yeah.
Or Penhurst. Yeah, Penhurst would be another good one.
There's another place in New York that would be is not very well known, but should be. But they don't let nobody there. They're, the cops. We were outside the front gates. It's all gated off the whole property. We were there under a minute or two, and cops were there. What are you doing here? What you can't go beyond that and such. It's called JB Adams or JD Adams in Perrysburg, New York. That place has all kinds of activity, from my understanding. Lots of death, lots of. It was a hospital, um, and such, and that I think they would probably get a lot of activity with those dolls there.
It was
um,
like that when we went to, we didn't actually go to Waverly, but we've been to Waverly. We didn't get to go, we haven't been up there to investigate, but like you could drive up the road so far.
mhm.
And so we were out and we were taking pictures of it and stuff like that. And then, yeah, one of their guards came down and they were like, "What are you guys doing here? You guys got to go." It's like, "We're just taking pictures, man. Chill."
Right.
We're just taking pictures.
You, we're not obviously you can see us. We're not sneaking around or anything.
Right? It's not like we're trying to, like go through the woods or anything like that. Yeah, it was, yeah. That's one place. That's another place on my bucket list.
There's a lot of places that could be done. Uh, Another place that you can go to is what's that place we went to down there by Pittsburgh?
Pittsburgh.
Or
Oh, that was the Carnegie Library. That's down
no,
by Pittsburgh.
yeah, that is one.
Rolling.
It wasn't Rolling Hills, but anyways, there's lots of places to check out. Is it? Maybe it was Rolling Hills, but
Something like that.
yeah. So there's a lot of places on my bucket list. Uh,
In Newcastle.
Newcastle, PA, is that place. Um, what place overseas would you like to go to?
Oh, I would like to go to Ancient Ream Inn.
Yes.
I would like to go to the Hellfire Caves. God, I would pretty much go anywhere over there. Pretty much anywhere.
It
For
doesn't even matter. Huh? Just
not really, because there's just I don't know, like most of it because of the history.
mhm.
And like I love Castle. Oh, another one I would definitely go to would be Dracula's Castle. Definitely go there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would definitely
You,
go there. But
you along you, you along the same line, Misty?
Yes, actually. I mean, you want to go to all like the castles and old prisons out there. I think it would be interesting to just see where they are in the first place, but to be able to investigate it would be pretty awesome.
there's one I actually just watched. The Tower of London, yeah, for sure. But it's Margam Castle,
I haven't heard of that one.
and that one is actually really, really awesome. Really awesome. Um, it was actually done by Project Fear.
Okay, I like them guys.
Yeah, and like
Yeah.
it just dropped a week ago, and so it was, yeah, it was pretty cool. I
I
love
don't think
castles.
I've I don't think I've seen their channel in probably about 2 months now. I've been
Really?
slacking. Yeah.
Yeah, they went off the rails a little bit and did a couple of weird things, but now they're back at it. But yeah, they've been over into Scotland and stuff. But yeah,
So if you'll both answer this, which paranormal celebrity YouTuber would you guys like to investigate with, if given the chance?
I would definitely do Project Fear, and I would also do Colin Brown with the Paranormal Files.
Mm, both good ones.
Yeah, I would do. I would do both of those. Non non YouTubers, I would do Dave Schrader and Cindy Kaza.
And who?
Cindy Kaza,
Oh,
Hmm,
yes.
not sure of that.
she's a medium psychic.
Oh, okay.
She did the Holzer files with Dave Schrader.
Okay. I've seen that. So I probably know of her then.
Hmm. Go ahead, Misty.
Um, well, the Project Fear as well, because I mean, come on. But as well, I wouldn't mind doing something with like um Barry Adam and
Oh.
Oh, Adam Berry.
Adam. Yeah, I keep getting their names mixed up. I'm sorry. Adam
And
Berry and
the
Amy
what
Bruni.
is her
yes,
name? Amy.
Amy Bruni, and have Chip come along. That would be to me an awesome experience. I think.
Yeah, Chip Coffee.
Yes.
Hmm. And then
I was kind of
go ahead.
I thought maybe you guys would say somebody like Sam and Colby or Paranormal Twins or Mr. Fedora.
Mr.
Oh,
Fedora. I would do
No,
Mr. Fedora.
definitely.
See, Scott was hoping you'd say him. Yeah. So
that's why I said that.
remember, remember back at the very beginning when I said we got booted out because of a paranormal team? It was
Yeah.
because of Sam and Colby.
Oh, really?
They bought the
Well, they are.
location. They bought the
They're,
location that we were going to investigate, and they bumped us out of our spots twice. And
wow.
I have, like, I had up to that point, I had watched everything they did. I liked them. I was like, yeah, they've been in trouble, whatever. But like, I was like, that's cool. To this day, I can't stand them. If I even try to watch them, I'm like, "Bleh." Like I just can't. Like they done burnt
Well,
me. They
the
just can't.
odds are, and not to defend them in the slightest, but they probably had no clue that it happened. They probably have people booked for them, just
No,
like,
no, because
oh,
the owner told them they had did their meet and greet in Minneapolis that day, and they were coming down to the location, and they said we already got a team that's booked for that night, and they're like, we don't care, they're not coming.
hmm,
Like they legitimately, their manager or whatever it is that they have, like doesn't matter.
mhm.
They're buying it. Everybody else goes to the wayside
Well, they have the money to do that.
because it's Zach Bagans. I mean, I didn't say that.
They're connected to them. I see. I watch them and like Twin Paranormal and such, but those type of shows I find just for entertainment,
A lot
not
of it,
to
yeah.
like Project Fear and those shows I actually watch for to learn and really pay attention
Hmm.
to. The other ones is like, yeah, nice show for a half hour, just kind of relax and.
Yeah.
So and I guess that's the biggest difference between teams like ours and such is we do this because one, we're very interested in the paranormal, the history, and things like that, and do it seriously and hopefully people find entertainment in what we do, whereas they're in it for the entertainment, the status and such, and if they get lucky, they find something. That's my view.
Right. Oh. Any
But
other
guys,
questions?
I think we're about along the same frame of mind right now. We've been here for an hour and 43 minutes now.
Hmm.
I think I'm about wore out. So I'm hoping if you guys will be okay with leaving this end, we'll leave it at this point.
Sounds good. Appreciate you
Sounds
having us.
great.
And good night, Denny.
Bye. Misty, watch the stove.
Oh gosh.
Bye,
Okay.
And take
guys.
care of us. Salt and strength. Stay salty. Uh,
Okay.
and hopefully I will you guys will be willing to come back to the show once again in the future
Absolutely.
because it was definitely a blast having you guys on.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you.
My pleasure, definitely. So I'll talk to you guys soon.
All right.
Bye.
All right.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye. Well, guys, a wonderful, wonderful show with people with lots of information, wonderful stories. Uh, they definitely carried the show for me tonight. Um, I wish my mind was a little more active so I could ask them a little more in depth about different things, but you heard it. They said they were willing to be here again, so I couldn't have been that bad, right? So, uh, if you made it this far, we have another show coming up in a few weeks, so make sure you tune in then. I don't know what more to say, so hopefully y'all have a wonderful night. And thanks for being here for this time. And as always, stay spooky.
Well, hey everybody, thanks for stopping down and appreciate the visit. Now get the hell off of my porch. We'll see you the next time. Come on back.